Hi, everybody. This is Adam Elenbaas from Nightlight Astrology, and these are January's horoscopes. And today we're looking at the Sun and Rising sign horoscopes for Taurus. So let's go ahead and take a look. I'm going to put the chart up on the screen so that you can see it. And, the month of January is getting off to a fast start. We had just yesterday a Sun-Saturn conjunction to start the month. And I apologize, these are getting out a little bit later than usual because I just finished my annual fundraiser and was also celebrating the holiday with family and stuff like that. So January is every year, the very beginning of the year, sometimes a day or two late. But let's see here. So Sun and Saturn conjoined in your ninth house to start the month yesterday. The action in Capricorn is pretty stacked up all month long. You're going to see, for example, that on the 5th, there is a new moon solar eclipse taking place in Capricorn, also in your ninth house. You're going to see some other major transits coming through, like on the 8th, for example, you've got Mercury in Capricorn making a square to Mars in Aries. A lot of Capricorn Aries energy all month long. And then going forward from there, you have a couple of other transits that are pretty intense right away. Sun-Pluto conjunction on January 10th, right like that. And then you're going to see by the 12th, 13th, Mercury is going to conjoin Saturn right there in your ninth house. So first half of the month is the story of Capricorn. And then all the way by the 21st, you're going to see Mars in Aries in the 12th, getting into a square with Saturn in the ninth. So in some ways, the story of the month is really the 12th house, ninth house square. So when you have so many transits in one sign, I like to keep the theme pretty simple and just talk about where that constellation of energy is coming from. In this case, ninth house, a little bit of 12th house. Then we're also going to look at, around January 13th or so, you're going to see Jupiter getting into a square with Neptune from the 8th to the 11th. And then on the 21st, there is a lunar eclipse in Leo in your fourth house. We'll talk about that. And on the 22nd, there's a Venus-Jupiter conjunction in the 8th. So we'll talk about that briefly. So a lot on the plate for January. I mean, it's pretty incredible how busy January is, the first month of a year. Usually you feel like you're kind of starting off with a lot of resolutions and like, okay, I've kind of clear the slate, start a new year. But this one's actually, this January is like, off to the races right away. A lot of cardinal energy, which means things are starting. Ninth house, 12th house, a lot of emphasis in your ninth house. That's the house of faith, religion, spirituality, pilgrimages or long journeys abroad to foreign places. This is a place that is related to going back to school or learning something about teachers and mentors. It's also a place that takes us abroad out of our current sphere of activities into some place that's foreign or different. The ninth house is also with a lot of Capricorn energy moving through, a solar eclipse, the Sun-Pluto conjunction. There's a heavier, weightier, there's a gravity to these topics in your life right now. So we're taking them very seriously. There's a lot of growth and maturity happening. You may be going through a time where you are, having to find practical, Capricorn, very practical ways of implementing your beliefs in the world. You may be going through a crisis of faith. You may be going through a very difficult period of learning something where there's a lot of work involved. Or there may be some kind of transformation of your entire belief system at play right now. With Mars in the 12th house, this is also, in some ways, it's about your doubts and your demons. The 12th house Mars is about where we tend to do ourselves in, where we may be reckless or impulsive or have some kind of wild instinct or anger or aggression or recklessness that kind of takes us off course. And how is that recklessness being addressed within our spiritual life? That could be a 12th house, 9th house kind of thing. Or we could be looking at, again, just sort of a crisis of faith, a dark night of the soul, and how are our teachers coming to help us right now? Or are we finding higher guidance from someone or someplace that's helping us to move through some kind of darker space. Sometimes this is also about enmity. Mars is the planet of enmity in religious institutions or higher education. I mean, I went to grad school and witnessed, staff, teacher, professor feuds within a department. This is has that kind of vibe about it. But also Mars in the 12th is associated with sacrifice and martyrs and people who will die for a cause. What are you sacrificing right now? What are you trying to eliminate or get rid of or purge or cleanse or heal in order to become more focused? Where are you willing to sacrifice for being in better alignment with your beliefs? These are all questions between the 12th and the 9th that are being raised this month for you. Now, on January 13th, thereabouts, Jupiter's getting into a square with Neptune. This is an interesting transit between the 8th and 11th house. The 8th and the 11th house have a lot to do with other people, other people's resources and money, groups of people, friends or colleagues, benefactors. So there's some question here about wanting to maybe perhaps a vision of joining forces or joining or collaborating with others, trying to find other people's resources that may be available to help you in some larger cause, fundraising, charity work, investments, debt, working with organizations to make big changes structurally, the vision of a company or business changing. This also may have something to do with the financial status of a partner, Jupiter in the 8th house of other people's money or resources. You want to be careful about being used or using people, opportunism in general with this transit, and also making sure that big plans that you're thinking about are really grounded in reality. But otherwise, it's a very inspiring transit, maybe connecting you to other people, and also maybe with the 8th house involved, which can bring up kind of some heavier or darker themes sometimes. Maybe there's also a desire to address deeper needs, the deeper suffering and challenges that people go through in life, and wanting to, team up or collaborate with others on something that will be uplifting, hopeful, bring people something that they're in need of. So I like that one for you as well this month. Let's see. And then on January 21st, you've got a lunar eclipse in your 4th house. Let's see if I can actually bring that up so you can see it. There we go. So you're going to see on January 21st, thereabouts, see the full moon is in Leo, and you can always tell it's full because it will oppose the sun. So it's a full moon lunar eclipse in your 4th house of home, family, property, parents. You've been receiving eclipses in this area for a while now. This is the last one. So it's a big shift. That's one more big shift that's coming around those topics this month with an eclipse happening there. So watch for that around the 21st, but it'll take, a couple of months to play out. All right. So then on the basically the 21st into the 22nd, you're going to see Jupiter and Venus getting together in the 8th house. Now, other than this transit being potentially sort of extravagant, over the top, a little materialistic, or sort of indulgent in a not so great way, this is a transit that speaks to a lot of uplifting, positive, beneficial themes in relationships. Sometimes Venus Jupiter is about powerful women or benefits from women. Sometimes there's good fortune and friendship, benefactors or windfalls or support. There's sometimes benefits that come in through a spouse or significant other's money or finances. Sometimes you'll be approved for a loan. Be careful again about going over the top with things, but you get the idea. It's a very auspicious transit coming through right on the heels of the Jupiter-Neptune square. So a lot of contraction this month with so much Saturn, kind of Capricorn energy, 9th, 12th house, little heavy there, right? But there's also this really beautiful dream and inspiration coming from Jupiter and Neptune. So it's a really mixed month. It'll be interesting to see how things play out. So that's what I've got for you, Taurus. I hope this was interesting. I hope you have a beautiful month of January. We'll see you again next month for February.